Get ready for a journey into the depths of darkness where legends collide and the truth is stranger than fiction. Today, we dare to tread into the realm of Lilith, a figure cloaked in darkness, yet illuminated by the flames of rebellion. From her audacious rebellion against Adam to her sinister alliances and vengeful schemes, her story spans ancient mythologies and modern pop culture, leaving an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. All right, let's set the scene. In the lush setting of the Garden of Eden, according to traditions within the Abrahamic faiths, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, humanity's story begins. Adam, crafted from the very dust of the earth, meets Eve, formed from his rib. A timeless tale etched into our collective consciousness. But wait, what if we told you there's a plot twist in this age-old tale? What if Adam's first partner wasn't Eve, but rather an intriguing and mysterious character named Lilith? It's like tossing a curveball right into the heart of this familiar narrative, isn't it? Ancient Babylon was a time when myths sparked like stars in the night sky. Here, amid swirling tales and legends, emerged Lilith. She's not your average character. Nope, she's a winged demon, infamous for causing chaos, especially among expecting mothers and innocent babies. Just her name alone, derived from Hebrew, with meanings like night creatures, night monster, or even screech owl, sets the perfect mood for a story filled with twists and turns. Lilith is the ultimate spooky troublemaker, weaving her mischief wherever she treads. But before you judge her, there's more to her story than meets the eye. And we've got the scoop. Lilith's got a fascinating backstory, one that spreads far and wide across the ancient world. Anatolia, Syria, Israel, Egypt, and Greece. Her legend knows no bounds, transcending time and place. And guess what? She's even made her mark in modern pop culture, popping up in unexpected places like the Netflix series Lucifer. If you've caught a glimpse of Lucifer, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. But who exactly is this Lilith, and how did she end up tangled in this ancient narrative? Let's peel back the layers of her story, delving into the depths of her origins and the whispered secrets of her existence. Now, the exact origins of the Lilith myth are complex and multifaceted. We're talking about a mix of ancient Mesopotamian demonology, Jewish folklore, and some medieval scholar and mystic interpretations thrown into the cauldron. Some scholars suggest that Lilith may have sprung from earlier Mesopotamian myths, featuring female demons and spirits. Others see parallels with ancient goddesses of fertility and sexuality. Imagine that, a character born from a brew of ancient legends and divine femininity. So, while most versions of the Bible might not have her mentioned, Lilith definitely steals the show in ancient Jewish folklore and mystical traditions. One of the earliest references to Lilith pops up in the Babylonian Talmud, a heavyweight in rabbinic Judaism, dating back to the 5th century CE. And let us tell you, her portrayal in these texts is anything but ordinary. Because when it comes to Lilith, ordinary just isn't her style. In the Talmudic tradition, Lilith isn't your average sidekick. Nope, she's got sass, spunk, and a whole lot of independence. But perhaps the most intriguing interpretation of Lilith's story is her supposed role as Adam's original partner. Yes, you heard that right. Forget the rib stuff. Lilith was supposedly molded from the same earth as Adam, making her the original Mrs. Adam, who decided to pack her bags and make her grand exit from heaven on earth. Now that's what we would call a plot twist for the ages. Now for the burning question. Why did Lilith make a grand exit from the Garden of Eden in the first place? And why has she been painted as a demon in subsequent folklore and mythology? Well, you see, while Eve was molded from Adam's rib, Lilith came from the same soil as Adam, implying that they were equals in every way. And so Lilith wasn't one to follow Adam's rules. She wasn't about to shrink herself to fit Adam's idea of a good wife. Nope, she had her own ideas and wasn't afraid to stand up for herself. Some versions of the story even suggested that Lilith straight up refused to play by Adam's rules. And Adam, well, he wasn't having any of that equality stuff. Surprise, surprise. He wanted to be top dog, and Lilith's refusal to bow down to his authority. Her rebellion took many forms, but one of the most glaring acts of defiance was her refusal to be submissive to Adam, especially in matters of sexual intimacy. While Adam expected Lilith to take a passive role in their romantic encounters, she had other plans. In some versions of the tale, Lilith insisted on sexual equality, refusing to adopt a subordinate position during intercourse. Talk about breaking the mold, right? This refusal to submit to Adam's demands and expectations infuriated him and led to conflict between them. So, what went down next? Well, after their serious disagreement, Lilith took matters into her own hands and hightailed it out of Eden. And Adam, being the concerned husband he was, ratted her out to God, who then sent 3 angels, Senwa, Sensenwa, and Samangalef, to fetch her back. When the 3 angels finally tracked Lilith down in a cave somewhere near the Red Sea on Earth, they stumbled upon a rather surprising sight: Lilith, surrounded by her offspring. They urged her to come back, but despite their request, Lilith, being Lilith, stood her ground, adamantly refusing to return to the garden. In retaliation, the angels issued a chilling ultimatum. They would slay 100 of her children every day for her disobedience. Now that's just cold. Infuriated by their decree, Lilith's vengeance knew no bounds. Legend has it that she became a sinister force, preying on innocent children and haunting their darkest nightmares. From stillborn infants to crib deaths, Lilith was believed to be the evil entity responsible for these tragedies, her wrath sparing no one. Yikes. But here's where it gets even creepier. Male babies were especially vulnerable to Lilith's curse for 8 days after birth until they underwent circumcision. As for the baby girls, they had to endure a whopping 20 days of Lilith's sinister presence, with no protection in sight. Meanwhile, while all this chaos was unfolding, Adam found himself struggling with loneliness in the absence of his wife. Seeing his plight, God decided to intervene and create a new companion for him, none other than Eve herself. Also, God wasn't too pleased with Lilith's rebellious antics. Due to her brazen defiance and decision to reject the Creator's authority, Lilith found herself demonized by God. Now, here comes the shocking twist. In a bizarre turn of events, when Lilith attempted to return to the garden, she discovered that Adam had already moved on with his new bae. Out of spite, and perhaps a touch of jealousy, Lilith decided to get even in the most scandalous way possible. She had a little rendezvous with Adam while he was catching some Z's. Yes, you heard it correctly. Lilith took advantage of Adam's slumber and engaged in some, shall we say, intimate activities, stealing his seed and using it to spawn her own crew of earthbound demons called Lilim. These malevolent spirits are notorious for tormenting humans, especially targeting women and children. Some stories even depict them as succubi or incubi, infamous for seducing and corrupting mortals while they sleep. Talk about a revenge plot for the ages. Speaking of seduction, another intriguing aspect to Lilith's character is that she's often depicted as a symbol of untamed sexuality, with her captivating allure echoing through the ages. In the Babylonian Talmud, Shabbat 151a, it's written, "It is forbidden for a man to sleep alone in a house, lest Lilith get a hold of him." According to legend, Lilith is said to lurk in the shadows, waiting to trap unsuspecting men who dare to sleep alone. Watch out, fellas. And that's not all. It's not just the sleeping that she does. She's believed to fertilize herself with their sperm, using it to give birth to other demons and further spread her dark legacy. And if that wasn't enough, she's also blamed for those steamy erotic dreams and nocturnal emissions that have plagued men for centuries. So the next time you wake up sweating after a particularly spicy dream, you might just have Lilith to thank for the entertainment. Or maybe not. Better invest in some extra nightlights, guys. If you thought we were done with Lilith, think again. There was more to her twisted tale. Remember the whole infamous banishment of Adam and Eve from paradise debacle? Well, some sources suggest that Lilith might have had a hand in that. It turns out that Lilith, consumed by jealousy and spite, decided to take the form of a snake and cunningly tricked Eve into taking a bite of the forbidden fruit. Cruel, isn't it? Her manipulation set off a domino effect, leading to the fateful banishment of humanity from paradise. Talk about diabolical. But in the realm of Lilith, surprises are par for the course. Now, if that revelation left you shocked, prepare yourself for another captivating twist. Enter the Zohar, a mystical text from 12th century Spain, spinning Lilith's saga in a whole new light. Here, she's not merely Adam's ex-lover. She's wedded to none other than Satan himself. Can you imagine? They're like the power couple, but shrouded in darkness. Anyway, This portrayal elevated Lilith to a cosmic scale, intertwining her fate with the very embodiment of evil. Lilith's legacy today is a hot topic that sparks diverse opinions and interpretations. People see her in different lights. Some view her as a symbol of female power, while others see her as a destructive force. For many feminists out there, Lilith is seen as this trailblazer who stood up for her independence, even if it meant going against the grain. So, despite her flaws, she's still admired for her resilience and mysteriousness. At the end of the day, Lilith's story says a lot about how society views women's freedom and sexuality. It's one of those tales that's open to all sorts of interpretations, giving us plenty to think about and discuss. That's a wrap for today. If you found this exploration as fascinating as we did, you won't want to miss our next video, titled Why Women's Contributions to the Victories in War Have Been Suppressed Throughout History. This journey promises to challenge your perceptions and shed light on the remarkable impact of women in warfare. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged.